Welcome to the house, the one they talking about, word of mouth. The boxing PlayHouse, without a doubt. All the latest and greatest boxing news, that's what. Welcome to the house, the one they talking about, word of mouth. The boxing PlayHouse, without a doubt. All the latest and greatest boxing news, that's what it's all about.
What's up, guys? Tonight we got the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame weekend guests that are also being inducted, as well as the vice president of the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame with us tonight. It's going to be an amazing show, speaking on everything to do with Oquendo, as well as Ice Cole, baby. That's right. Al Ice Cole is with us tonight. And then, of course, we have the silky voice one. We're talking about Florida Boxing Hall of Fame announcer. I'm calling him the official announcer. Yes. And vice president for the Boxing Association here, Florida Boxing Hall of Fame. So we're going to get started first with the hot topics this week. Oh, my Lord, we got a heavy-hitting fight this weekend, baby. Two of them, as a matter of fact. We got Errol Spence versus Ugas, baby. And that's going to go down, showdown, in the AT&T Stadium, Dallas, baby. I mean, how do you feel about this show? I mean, this particular fight being in Spence's home turf?
Man, I'm excited about the fight. You know, being in the ATM Stadium, that's giving Earl, the advantage, hometown advantage. So Ugas gonna have to really, stand out and really, make a strong showing if he want to win, in that ATM Stadium, home of Errol Spence. So it's a great matchup, unification. I feel like we're getting closer to one undisputed champion. Hopefully the winner of this fight here fights Terrence Crawford. So I think we're getting closer to a undisputed welterweight champion.
All right. So, of course, the news before was that Ugas' trainer didn't think Errol Spence was the same type of boxer once he fought Sean Porter, who gave it to him. I mean, that fight was the type of fight that takes off years of your career. I mean, can we agree on that?
Yeah, Sean Porter makes it rough for everybody. So he's a tough, former world champion. So it's hard, it's hard to look good against Sean or even beat Sean. So that fight, Earl, I thought Earl did a great job in that fight.
I mean, I hear you. I understand you. The only thing I see is that just because you have a hard-fought fight with one boxer doesn't mean that you're diminished to the point where someone like Ugas can just come in and, dominate you, especially when you're talking about a well-rested Errol Spence. As we know, he was not able to fulfill his fight dream of fighting Manny Pacquiao. So Ugas stepped in. Ugas got not only the W, he got the WBA title from Pacquiao. So now we're talking about a 3-belt unification title fight. So, I mean, is this set up and baked in to be like a classic fight already? Or do you think that Ugas is bit off a little more than he can chew?
No, I think Ugas is the man. I think this is his time right now. He got the big win over Pacquiao, a fight that Earl, unfortunately, eye injury cost Earl that fight last year. So the spotlight hit Ugas and he took it, he ran with it, he won the title, and now he's here, and I think he really wants to prove that he's one of the top guys in the welterweight division. He's going to give Errol Spence a tough fight. I think it's going to be a close fight, and man, it's going to be a real close one.
Yes, I am looking forward to it. It seems that Spence right now has a little bit of an edge when it comes to betting. The odds are that, Spence will win this fight. I'm just not so sure. I mean, what do you think as far as the odds are concerned? Does Ugas have a fighting chance? Or does Spence have a fighting chance?
I think the odds might be favoring Earl a little bit, but you can't count Ugas out, man. This dude is hungry. He wants it. You know, he want to come from the Cuban pedigree background. You know, this guy has a story just as well as Earl. So I think Ugas is going to be a hard guy to beat Saturday night. Earl's going to have to be on top of his game. You know, we have to see how well the injury and the ring rust plays with Earl Spence. So it's going to be a close fight. You know, I kind of hate for it to boil down to a decision because I don't know if Ugas going to really be able to pull out a close decision, you know, in Earl Spence's hometown.
Yeah, I mean, it is going to be kind of hard. I mean, you are talking about AT&T Stadium. We had the pleasure of being there before when Errol was fighting Mikey Garcia, and you know, the crowd just fills in quickly, and that was for Mikey Garcia. Imagine for a unification bout in which the fans there haven't seen Spence in about 2 years, I believe. I think his last fight there was with Danny Garcia.
That's what I'm saying. Ugas gonna have to go above and beyond if he want to win that fight in Earl Spence's hometown. You know, I hate for a fight that's going to be this close. You know, being somebody's hometown. You know, I wish it would have been on neutral grounds or whatever, maybe in Vegas or somewhere, because it's going to come down. I believe it's going to come down to a close decision, and you know, I don't know if Ugas is going to be able to pull out a close decision in Arlington.
Yeah, if he doesn't get an actual KO, I'm going to have to, you know, because of boxing politics and et cetera, et cetera. The Dallas judges are also not known to be as favorable to boxers that are, you know, slick and know the sweet science as much as they are for the ones that are more aggressive and hard hitting. So that also doesn't work in Ugas's favor. So if he doesn't get a TKO or a KO, I'm afraid I'm going to have to go with Errol Spence all the way, baby. Yeah. So let's get to predictions, and we're going to bring Bob Alexander, our amazing announcer, the silk voice one. Yes, we're going to bring him on and get his prediction as well. Let's go ahead and introduce the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame Vice President and official announcer. What's up, Bob?
Hey, my team. How you doing, guys?
Hey, what's going on with you?
Oh, just living the dream, enjoying life, and staying busy. And I want that goblet. I got to get me one of those goblets.
We got you. See, listen, you and him together with the goblet, it's classic all the way.
Unstoppable.
Hall of Fame, Bob, Hall of Fame. I'm gonna have one for you.
You're the man. You are so the man.
Now listen, we are talking about this Errol Spence versus Ugas fight. What we need predictions.
Well, I think Ugas is going to give him a very tough fight. I think he's got the style that can, give him some trouble. If Spence though is on his game, I just don't see him going down in that fight. He's got the home advantage. He's got some big things looking up ahead. If he can get past, if he underestimates Ugas, he's putting himself in a bad position. But I just don't think that's going to happen. I think Spence wins, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be a very tough fight.
Okay. I mean, for me, I'm just really excited that we are finally getting that type of competitive fights with the welterweights, especially when you got two boxers that's in the top 5. I'm always excited for that. I really would like to go for Ugas. It's a situation where you're rooting for Ugas, but at the same time, Errol Spence has this like looming Bud Crawford fight dangling in front of him for mega fight money. And I just can't see him mentally letting that type of money go. So I think he's going to want it a little more than, Ugas is. Not saying that Ugas wouldn't love to have that fight as well, but the build-up has always been Spence versus a prime Bud Crawford. So that's why I'm leaning towards Spence. How about you, Emilia?
Hey, I think Earl, I would, if I was a betting man, I would get an edge to Earl, but you can't overlook Ugas. We've seen a lot of fights, waiting in the wings and didn't materialize because they might have overlooked their opponent or whatever. Earl missed out on a big fight because of the injury last year with Pacquiao, but you can't overlook Ugas, man. Ugas is a strong dude, so it's gonna be close. If I had to pick, I would give Earl a slight edge, but Ugas gonna make it close.
Oh, it's just so exciting, and I get so stressed, Bob. I mean, I just be like on the edge of my seat, like, I'm like, please don't let this Bud Crawford versus Errol Spence fight get crashed by Ugas, because he's done it before, right? We all thought that maybe Pacquiao was hopefully going to make it through Ugas so that we could get the Errol Spence versus Ugas. I mean, the Errol Spence versus Pacquiao fight, but that just didn't happen. So, once these fights have expiration dates and you miss it, it's not guaranteed to come back to you.
Did he almost ruin the Sean Porter and Spence fight? I mean, that fight with Sean Porter was close.
Yeah.
A lot of people thought Ugas won that fight.
Yeah, they did think that. Yeah.
So he almost killed that situation.
That's true.
Yeah. Okay, so we got Frez Oquendo. He is in the house. I see him waiting in the background. I guess we could go ahead and get his prediction too, because I am really interested in what he has to say about this, being that, he's been in that ring and knows how you're feeling when there's a, mega fight in the balance. If you don't win it, you're not getting it, So let's go ahead and introduce our 2022 Florida Boxing Hall of Fame inductee, Frez Oquendo. What's up?
Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Hey.
So we see you got your academy shirt on for your gym and their program that you have for the youth there. So shout out to you for doing such an amazing job with the kids in Chicago.
Well, thank you. This year, since COVID, we did some unprecedented for my boxing academy. We ended up having 4 in the finals. 2 of my girls won, and one of my boys won, and one of them lost. So I was 3-1 in the Chicago Golden Gloves finals. Not too bad for a little guy try to help all these kids.
Whatever, you're a Florida Hall of Fame inductee, baby. Don't try to act like you are just the smallest little pebble in Chicago. We not buying it, champ. So now, right now is Spence versus Ugas. We're at predictions. Bob is going with Spence. I'm going with Spence. Emilio, you kind of got away with not actually picking. Bob, you see that? Oh, I lost Bob right quick.
Midwest brother talking about? What my Midwest brother talking about?
Brad, I got the hat on for you. I was thinking about you. I put the Bulls on, man. You see that?
Yeah.
I'm thinking about you, man.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
I got the colors.
Midwest. We got to rep the Midwest.
That's right.
I don't know what happened. Listen. We have to know what you're thinking. Hold on. I think I got Bob back here. Okay, because I know he's interested in know what you're thinking too.
Bob, how you doing, my brother?
There go Bob.
There we are.
We got you.
How you doing, champ?
Hey, Bob. How you doing, man?
Okay.
I'm doing great. You look fantastic.
I'll try to stay in shape. Hang up. I was just telling him I had, out of my 10 kids, I had 4 that made it to the Chicago Golden Glove finals and 3 that won. So it wasn't too bad for a little guy,
Yay!
That's all right.
Well, congratulations on that for sure. I mean, that's an amazing thing to be able to give your knowledge, see it actually manifest into something positive. And it also helps kids not be in sticky situations out here on these streets because they got something to look forward to and work towards. So now you have gotten away with this long enough. We want to know Spence versus Ugas. Who you got, Frez?
You got Frez.
I mean, I'm a technical fighter myself, and I love my Latino brothers. I love my brothers of colors, you know, but in reality, I always go with technical, you know, fighters, and I gotta give it to Spence. I mean, Spence been very dominant, even after his, you know, very tragic, well, not tragic, but bad car accident he had. You know, a lot of people were skeptic because we didn't know if he was gonna be the same or fight the same. And so far, I mean, after these other performances that he had, like with the Garcia and the other guy, I mean, he was pretty dominant, and I just don't see him lose. I mean, he's gonna be dominant. He's gonna be dominating this fight.
Okay, so we finally got the answer out of you. We got Spence all the way so far. So now we have to get our next guest in 2022 Florida Boxing Hall of Fame inductee. We got to get his also predictions. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, so we got Ice Cold, baby, Al in the house. What's up, inductee? How are you doing?
Al, what's up?
Hey, I'm doing well. Y'all can hear me. I'm already linked up. I'm hooked up.
Oh yeah, we can hear you good, champ. What's going on with you? You hanging in here?
Nah, I'm just trying to find out. I never really paid much attention to Ugas. Is that the way you really said Ugas? And I was just watching on, I think it was Showtime or HBO. One of the I was just watching some information on the fight, on the upcoming fight, so I could get a little bit more information. And Ugas seemed like a pretty tough dude. I'm thinking he stepped in only 11 days to fight. He only had 11. So, I mean, that's telling me Ugas is already always prepared. He's always prepared. If he had only 11 days to get prepared for Pacquiao.
Right.
And I think Spence was the one that pulled out, right?
Yeah. What?
Right. Yeah. And so he pulled out and he was prepared for 11 days. So that's telling me Ugas is always ready.
Yeah.
Ugas is always ready. If you fight for a big title fight like that, and then 11 days taking a fight on that short notice.
Right. I mean, he was preparing for another fight that was on that card, and his opponent also pulled out. So what they did was they went ahead and linked up Ugas with Pacquiao so that they could, keep the fight card.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So he was in shape, but he was preparing for a different boxer. Yeah. You both know how that goes. It's completely different, training for one fighter versus an entirely different style.
So, so that means I have to start preparing to fight on the Fred's undercard. So if anything happened, one of the guys, they said, I got to step up just in case, So if Fred's fall out or the other guy fall out, I got to be prepared.
Right, exactly. And here's the thing is like, with Spence versus Ugas, that was a fight we were probably never going to see had Ugas not been able to secure that WBA title that Spence wants before he goes into negotiations with a possible Bud Crawford fight, who has the WBO, right?
Yeah, WBO.
Yes. So this is setting up the stage for a 4-belt unification title.
Wow. That is really something. And then just being prepared as Spence, really what Fred was just saying about Spence, that was really worried, concerned, because I know when you get hurt or something, but he had a serious car accident.
Right.
He had a serious car accident. I remember I had an okay car accident. I wasn't that bad, but I'm like,
he said, okay. And okay, well, there's never such a thing as an okay.
I know it made a major difference, and I'm like, from his accident, I'm like, thank God that he was like, I think what he had to get out with the jaws of life, it was a very intense, very sincere accident. Like they were surprised that he was alive.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
And then for him to come back, I'm like, oh no, he can't be prepared. He can
Right.
He like these. As we get older, I don't know, he might be still young. You know, I used to slip and fall and get back up. Now I slip and fall. I'm waiting for friends to reach his hand out to pull me up. Because before you could fall and get right back up, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
But now you slip and fall like, oh, that hurt a little bit more than it used to hurt.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
that accident had to be something. I'm just amazed. Like, I'm waiting for you to ask me the question. So now I'm gonna piggyback off of Fred. That was just, you know, because Spencer just looked so. He just was able to maintain from come. That's like miraculous that he's able to come back from that accident and then come back and win. So it's gonna be.
He's impressive for sure.
Yeah.
And now, do you guys think that eye injury is going to play into effect when you have a serious orbital bone injury like that? How do you guys think that might play into this particular bout? You know, should Ugas be targeting the eye? Is Spence gonna be rotating, you know, away from the eye or into his bad hand in order to make sure that he's securing his eye safely? Or do you think it had time to completely heal? Any of you guys?
I think Spence is gonna probably carry on the same as that because he can't, as a champion, as an elite fighter that he is, on at this stage, he probably not even thinking about that. He's not. You're not worried about. You go and worrying about you're not prepared. You're not gonna win. He's gonna go in like he's prepared. Nothing's wrong.
Yep.
He's gonna be prepared like everything's okay. You know, he just gotta go fight.
He gotta make it happen, huh?
Yeah. You're not going in worrying about this or that. You gotta be thinking about I gotta do this. A champion, you don't worry about what's wrong with you. You just thinking about what you're gonna do, not what he's gonna do. Right. Is what I'm gonna do to him.
Right.
Now, I just was gonna say, you both have a perspective. Is it true that boxers always have some type of injury during a fight?
I haven't had one fight. I think I only had one fight that I didn't get hurt in, like my hand or my knee, or fights we always get hurt, like your hand or something bothers you, twist your ankle or something. It was only one fight that everything was perfect, everything went great, everything was so good, and I was so worried about that fight because I'm sore every fight or got some illness or something wrong. I'm just sucking up and biting down. And actually, this was one of my greatest fights of my career, and I was outstanding. And but I'm used to always being hurt or something's wrong. A Fred's caught me with a good hook. I didn't remember, you know.
So which fight was that, Al? I think I might have seen it on TV.
Yeah, you know, we got to find that on YouTube. You know, YouTube has everything. We can pick some up.
Okay, go ahead.
Al, I got a question. I know this is a little bit off subject, but a lot of people don't realize that you were able to fight Will Smith in the Ali movie. You played Ernie Terrell.
Yes, Chi-Town.
How do you feel about the situation Will Smith in, man? I know you got to know him and fought him in the ring a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm gonna give you a little secret though, right?
Cool.
When I don't know if you remember, if anybody remember or seen my scene when I had to fight Will Smith. When I had to fight Ali, I was Ernie Terrell, so I had to fight Ali at the time. And when we went up to the set, we was practicing how to do this and how to do that, but people don't really realize during that movie, people got knocked out auditioning for the fight. Wow. You really had to fight.
Wow.
You really, like, I want the part, you want the part. We got to fight. Like me and friends fighting for the part. We both gonna bite down, set up. We want that part. We could be friends, but like we want that movie part.
Right.
And so people got knocked out auditioning for the movie. So it wasn't turning your head, the punches coming. We really had to fight for real. And one scene we was practicing, right? And it was kind of strange. It wasn't in the script. It wasn't in the script, but they say be prepared at all times, right?
Right.
And if you look at my scene of the movie, when we had to approach each other, Will just hauled off and slapped me.
Oh, you got slapped too?
Yeah, it wasn't in the script. He just like, pow, like, you were like, oh. And, and I instantly reacted, of course. I didn't react like Chris Rock. I didn't say Will I went after Will.
Right.
Yeah. But they made sure, like they ad-libbed, it wasn't in the script, but you got to be prepared. And, they had the people make sure they blocked me off and cut me off, so I can't get at them.
Right.
But we put that in the movie too, because that was very much real.
Wow.
And so,
and you didn't even insult his wife.
Nah.
Right. Yeah, for no reason.
Wow.
I don't know why he was
like. Good story.
Yeah, and the thing that was just like he did that same slap.
Oh.
If you ever go look back at the movie, that he reached back, and we really actually, we used to beat Will up. Will, he did what we did, like how we train. We get up in the morning, and we go running, and then we come back, eat, sleep, and relax. Then we get up in the afternoon and just go to the gym and train. And then later on, we might do some weight training or something. And so Will actually learned and lived. It wasn't no turn your head, the punches coming. If you didn't turn your head, he's like, protect yourself at all times.
Yeah.
So he learned really how to fight. Will would actually knock out the average brother.
Wow.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a compliment.
He learned to move around and everything. Like Ali, he was so good. He learned the moves and everything. And even though we had like some of the stuff in the movie, I didn't fight as Ice Cold. I had to fight as Ernie Terrell. Yeah. And Terrell wasn't as good as I was, I could say. And like he would cross his feet over, or his jab was slower along. So I had to mimic Terrell. So when I mimicked Terrell, I had to learn some moves that I would not normally do. That wasn't productive for me, but I had to. I can't punch and fight like Ice Cold. I had to punch and fight like Ernie Terrell. So my jab wasn't as strong or sharp, or my right hand I kind of slapped with it sometimes. So I had to learn I learned some mistakes, or like I crossed my legs. And fighters know you really don't cross your leg, because you get hit, you're gonna go down and weave and wobble, if your legs are crossed. And so, but I had to make the same movement as Terrell, and so I had to learn to keep crossing my legs. And that's like, as friends would say, you don't cross your legs.
Mm-hmm.
You don't cross your legs. And sometimes the punch, he like, his jab wasn't as sharp as like he pawing with a jab, like, instead of just coming straight, he was pawing with it. So I had to really throw some wild punches that wasn't as sharp.
I don't know if I ever told you the story, but I got a chance to meet Muhammad Ali one time, man, back in my hometown, Milwaukee. And
wow.
The strange part about it, when I met him, Ernie Terrell was his bodyguard.
What? What year was that?
Ernie Terrell was his bodyguard, man. This is back in '83. He came to Milwaukee.
Wow.
Yeah.
And Ali, what Ali did, he would he want everybody to get paid. So you know what? If we was fighting, we could be friends. But it's a business. We gotta fight. We gotta fight. Like if me and Fred had to fight for a title, we cool, we friends, but we gotta fight. We gotta do that. And so a lot of us have fought each other growing up as amateurs and everything. We don't have no animosity against each other. We just it's business. So when I knock you out, I'm trying to save you from all the pain. I'm trying to knock you out so you don't go through all the 12 rounds of punishment.
Right.
But that's what it was with Ali. Like he knew he could probably easily beat Ernie Terrell, but he give anytime you like anybody like right now, if I'm Mayweather weight class, just say I fight Mayweather, I'm getting a payday.
Right.
And that's what it is. And he was giving people paydays, I guess.
Looking out for others that weren't as fortunate as himself. That's amazing. Bob, do you have any questions for the two of these inductees tonight? You're kind of quiet tonight.
Well, I'm just, I'm used to doing all the talking most of the time. Sometimes I just like to sit back and be an audience for a team. But I'm so happy for these two guys. They're both extremely deserving to go into the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame. They've earned it. They had great careers, and now they're getting recognized properly. And I can't wait for them to enjoy the weekend the way we always enjoy it. I just got to tell them both, savor the moments, because that weekend is all about you. It's all about culminating everything that you've done in your career. So you need to enjoy every little second of that weekend. It's going to be so much fun. And, the class is a great class. We have other great fighters that are going in. But, I grew up watching these two guys here. I got to ring announce both of them later in their careers. And I'm just thrilled that they're going to be there and be part of the festivities. And, again, both very deserving. So congratulations to you both.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you, brother.
for sure. Absolutely. And I'm so excited and happy for the both of you as well, because, a lot of times people don't get the recognition that they deserve during their lifetime. And you guys have been fortunate enough to be able to be in the class this year of 2022. And every year is getting bigger and bigger. So the recognition is getting better and better too. Right, Bob?
Absolutely. I mean, we're going into our 14th year. And I think at this point, I know I'm going to sound like I'm subjective, but I am. I'm prejudiced in this whole deal. As far as I'm concerned, the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame is the best state Hall of Fame in the United States. Wow. And I say that without any hesitation.
Wow.
I actually can agree, because we have a fight night, a professional fight night to start off things. Tnkboxingpromotions, and then we have our expo on Saturday where everybody gets to meet and greet and have fun together, learn a few things about the sport, the fist casting, and then we have a nice dinner and the actual induction ceremony on Sunday. I mean, it's all around a great weekend with lots of activities.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. And it's a great chance for boxing people to get together. The fans can come out and meet the fighters, the inductees, get autographs, pictures. It's just a great time to get together and celebrate the sport that we love and the people that make it happen. And it's a great thing with the fighters, with like Frez and Al. But, we've got judges and referees and doctors. Everybody that makes the sport what it is. The fighters are at the top because they're what it's all about. They're the show. But to make the show happen, you got to have all the support personnel. You need the promoters, you need the doctors and the commissioners and the ring announcers and all that. They all go in, and that's what makes boxing great. It's like a great team. When you have everybody working together, it all comes out so well, and that's what we're excited about. With the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame. We haven't been around that long, but we've taken elements and put them into our hall to make it the best that we can. And that's why it's a 3-day weekend. So everybody has plenty of time to enjoy themselves, meet and greet, hang out, just enjoy the company. And that's what we look forward to every year. And we love when the past inductees come back and join us. That's a big deal.
That's a huge deal.
We want them to feel part of this Hall of Fame always, not just when they get inducted, but every year. So the more that we can get to come out, the better it is.
Ray Mercer said he was coming when he heard Al Cole was being inducted, Bob.
That's great. Merciless was there when he was inducted, and he put on a great show with the fans and the media. He was terrific. And I know these two cats sitting right here are going to do just the same. They are going to rule and have fun and hold court and just celebrate their storied careers. That's what I want to see them do. I want them to just have fun, relax, enjoy the moment because it's so special.
Exactly. It really is.
And David Tua too, right? David Tua.
Yeah.
David Tua is going to be coming all the way from New Zealand.
That's going to be something. Yes, that's great.
Shannon
Briggs too.
It's another loaded class. I'm telling you, we have got greatness from top to bottom, and we're just getting excited. I can't believe that it's about 2 months away. It's like, where did the time go?
I know, man.
Yes, already. Like, we were planning for our interviews in the lead up, Bob, remember? And that was
right.
January. So it's already like, wow, where did the time go? It's moving.
It goes fast.
And so June 17th to the 19th is going to be amazing. We're going to have so much fun. And the main thing, I know Boxing PlayHouse, we're busy, we working, but as boxing fans, it's so exciting. And I call it a family reunion for boxing fans.
Yeah, I think that's one great thing that's going to be about it, because a lot of fighters or the prior inductees or people that's coming around, even like a lot of fans are local people, or not just a lot of people see a whole group, a massive group of all these elite fighters together at one time. It is incredible. It's great that we can fellowship together and enjoy the time.
All right. Well, guys, we have a question from a Florida Boxing Hall of Fame, not inductee, but Achievement Award. Is that what we're calling this one, Bob? Christopher Young.
Yeah, it's a Boxing Achievement Award.
Boxing Achievement Award. Oh, why these people want to call me right now? Don't they know I'm busy. I got Florida Boxing Hall of Fame people. I don't know what they want, but it can't be that important, Bob. All right, so Christopher wants to know, this is both for Frez and Al, that were you at, let's see, what were you at and where were you, what were you doing when you got the call that you were going to be inducted into the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame? And also he wants to wish you guys a congratulations, and it's going to be great. Oh, he says it's great to see Bob. Look good.
Thank you, Chris. You're the best.
All right, so who wants to go first? What were you doing and where were you at?
You can go.
Okay. I was at the Oquendo Boxing Academy at my charter school with 30 of my students, and when I got to notoriety, they were so like shocked.
Oh, hold on, we lost them for a minute here. Let's see if he Frez froze up right when we asked him a question.
You hear me now?
There you go.
You froze up on us right when you were answering your question.
Yeah. So I was at my boxing academy in the city of Chicago, with training with over 40 students, and when I got the call, they were like very impressed, like, wow, we got a Hall of Fame teacher here, in class, and after school class, and I felt so humble that my kids were there to witness that, and I felt very humble, like, wow, Florida, it's very prestigious, to get recognition from a very prestigious state. And I had a lot of my big fights in Florida. I had a lot of my up and coming when I was a 4-round fighter, up and coming fights and stuff like that. Even, world elimination fights, when I fought Oliver McCall You know, I fought Alicia Castillo, you know, the Cuban, for elimination for the World Heavyweight Champion. I had a lot of great wars, and I showed my kids, you know, because we sometimes show video, you know, my videos, so they can see what their coach did in history and why do I, you know, earn this honor to be, you know, inducted to the Hall of Fame. So they were just shocked, like, wow, coach, I didn't know that was you. You in the ring? Oh my God, you guys are a brawler.
Yeah.
But you know, it's great to educate the future. You know, that, you know, boxing is not for everybody to be a world champion. This and that. It's just to stay positive, healthy, you know, happy, and whatever endeavors they want to do in life. You know, coach is always going to support.
Absolutely. I mean, support is. Okay, Al, where were you at?
I'm trying to remember. You know, I really I might have to ask Penny where that. I don't remember. I'm like,
I swear, Penny took care of this.
Yeah, but now, the thing I do reflect on is like I'm just so happy and honored to go, because actually, I lived down there in Florida for a while in the early '90s. Actually, before Roy got as big as he was, we used to go down like during the winter time. I would go down to Florida to train in Pensacola, up there with Roy Jones, and during the summertime, they would come up here and train up by me with me, Mercer, and Charles Bird, the triple threat, because we all had the same coach, Alton Murkison. Alton Murkison was my coach in the Army, so I'm very honored.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He was my coach in the Army, then he became my coach as a pro, and Roy Jones head coach also. And so we used to flip out. So a lot of times I lived a lot in Florida. And so I loved going down there to Florida. At first I was just thinking of vacations, but then we had to train like, oh, Florida's not just a vacation spot. I had to really get my work done because I had to train. And praise God, I went down there for like 6 years holding my title. And it was just a great time going down there. So, especially you talking about, where was that? I'm just remembering, I heard that Florida gives a big old ring. So I'm looking forward to that ring. The ring and get my hand capped.
Oh yes, nice ones. Even the female version too. They are both nice.
Yeah, and I'm looking at getting that Florida Hall of Fame ring, so I'm very looking forward to it. And you know, it's an honor. It's really an honor.
Is this what you're talking about, Fred? Right here?
Oh my
God! Where's
Look at that!
Oh yeah, that is a nice ring, man. They got the nice.
I will be standing right next to you. I'll be the one that's going to be doing the induction. Steve Canton, the president's going to put that ring on your finger, and you're going to think it weighs about 20 pounds. It's huge.
Oh wow, that's good. It's so strange with Steve Canton. Is remember, like he even said, like we first met in Texas when I was a novice.
Yep.
Yes, I met him and I won like a tournament. I only had a few months of boxing.
Oh wow!
And I beat some of his best guys. Yeah, like and I had a novice and within 10 months of boxing, I won a bronze medal in the nationals.
Oh wow!
Right.
Oh.
And I had to go through Steve Canton area and where he was training people. And well, unfortunately, I can say Steve helped me because I had to beat up a lot of his guys. So
oh, we're gonna have to tell him that. I'm gonna say, I said he beat all your guys, Steve. I don't know if he'll like that. We got Chuck Metzger with us tonight. He's a legendary photographer. And you know what, Al? He had some photos that he shared with me.
Oh, okay.
Back in the day. You ready to see them? Here you go.
Oh, okay, yes. Oh my
Wow.
You got Eddie
Which
Mustafa
fight was that?
Muhammad.
I'm thinking
That's
I'm
Mustafa.
fat that fight. I'm looking, I ain't cut up like I was. I must be a heavyweight.
So Al, you had Eddie Mustafa training you then, huh?
Yes, yes.
Wow,
right,
God bless you.
yeah.
Wow.
Right, yeah. And the great legend Eddie was, Eddie showed me a lot. Like I think and stuff like I never thought I didn't want no pro coaches when I first turned pro. Coming off the Olympic team, I want to help the people who helped me. So I didn't want no pro coaches. Then I got Eddie and another guy named Tommy Parks. And I realized the difference. I never thought there's no big thing with pro coaches. It's the same. But I learned a whole lot.
Wow.
With Eddie Mustafa and Tommy Parks. It's a big difference. I was just thinking like, let me try to see who am I about to knock this down. Well, those are some good pictures.
Do you recognize who you were fighting here, champ?
I'm thinking. I'm not sure. Is that
they got it where I can't see.
Yeah.
His face.
I think it's I think I stopped him in the 9th round. I think that's Fred.
Wait a minute.
Is that
Wait
Lewis
a
guy?
minute.
No, I'm just joking.
Who was that Terrence Lewis?
Huh?
Was that Terrence Lewis?
Yeah, it might. You might be right. It might be Terrence Lewis, or I'm trying to find out. It's a guy. I forget. It might be Terrence Lewis, or I'm thinking it's I can't remember. Matter of fact, I think he beat me in the amateurs, and I stopped him as a pro.
Oh wow!
And I can't remember his name.
Chuck says Tommy was great. Spent 3 years with him.
Yeah, Tommy was one of those coaches that wasn't known, was one of the best coaches ever. Wow. It's like how some people was behind the scenes. Yeah. Tommy was a phenomenal trainer. He used to train Bobby Chaz.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm thinking.
Let's say, okay, Chuck says, after the fight, we went to Jimmy Glenn's.
Oh, wow, New York. God bless his soul.
Yeah. Jimmy Glenn's, he had a bar there. And
very famous. I was there too.
Yeah, and he, I think he died the COVID time. And
last year.
Yeah, he died during COVID. Yeah. He was a great dude.
Yes, very beautiful person.
Very, very.
Jimmy humble, very nice. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
All right. We got trainer Sherman Henson in the house all the way from DC. And he says, did you fight Mike Evans?
Who, that's me or Fred?
I think
that was your time. That wasn't my time. I was too young.
Okay.
Jabs at each other, Bob. We're gonna have to do an exhibition on that floor. Yeah, on that
I want to be the ring announcer. That's all I can say. I want to be the ring announcer for that one.
Done.
I'm not sure it's Mike Evans. I'm not. You know what? I'm not sure. Let me see.
He's from Chicago.
No, I don't remember him.
You don't think so, huh? Well, we get another Hall of Famer in the house, Danny Sanchez, and he says, congratulations, brothers. Welcome to the club. We are honored to have you guys. All right.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I'm humbled.
Thank you.
See that, Sakura, that's the thing that helps us and continues to allow us to grow, is having those past inductees participate. And Danny is everywhere. He's always following things and keeping up with what's going on.
Yeah.
He's at all the events. I mean, you know, he treats this like it's, you know, one of his biggest honors, and he's always there. And that's when you get that feeling from the inductees that they want to continue and be back year after year. That just gives us the credibility that we need to continue to grow to make these guys look even better.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely. Like that's the only way that it's gonna make the value of their own induction even bigger the larger it gets. And so it's gonna take everybody to continue to come and show fans the love, because you know the fans love seeing all of the champs come out anyway. So it's just a time period in which they can enjoy the fights that's on Friday. Go to the expo, sign some autographs for everybody, meet other boxers that they might have fought or that they liked fighting or like seeing fighting. So I just think that that's the only way to be. It's like you got to commit and make sure you're there for your own, your own class as well as everybody else.
Absolutely. You know what's funny is that Tampa promoter Phil Alessi Jr. is being inducted in this class, but he just became a board member on the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame board. So he's like, well, he's saying, well, I've got to work at this event because all the other board members work. And it's like, no, you're being inducted. You're not going to work at this event. Forget about it.
Oh, he's ready to work. But that's a good thing, you know.
It is.
Yeah, and congratulations to him on that accomplishment, being a part of the board. I did go to the website the other day when I was looking up the information for our hotels. So make sure that you guys go to the website and check out everything. Everybody that is inducted for 2022 is also there, and their photos are there. And then you just click one little button and it'll take you over to make sure that you got your room secured, because you can't wait till the last minute.
Don't wait. Do not wait, because the rooms will sell out. They sold out last year and we had issues trying to get people rooms. It's become so big that, people want to come, and if they wait too long to get their room, it's not going to be there. So go to the website, FloridaBoxingHallOfFame.com. There's a link right there, as Sakura just said. Click on it. It'll take you there. You can make your reservation. Do it now. That way, when June comes, you don't have to worry about it. Just show up and have fun.
Yep.
Yes. And it's also a great price when you go through the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame. You get that special rate because, let's face it, this is Florida. It's close to the beach. So those rates really go up for peak periods like summer and June. So, it's the best way to get a decent rate as well. Right, Bob?
Yeah, the St. Pete Clearwater Marriott is only minutes from the beach. It's minutes from shopping and other attractions. We have a great partnership with them. This is I believe our 4th year at the St. Pete Clearwater Marriott, and the food has been great. The service has been great. The amenities are great. It's been a great relationship, and we're excited to go back and have another great weekend in June.
Absolutely. And we have to go ahead and give a shout out to Tnkboxingpromotions.
Okay.
These are some of the hard-hitting boxers that we're going to actually see in action that night, Friday the 17th. And I'm looking forward to seeing, of course, the female bout. She had an amazing KO in our last Hall of Fame. Remember, Bob?
Oh, yeah. That was quick, and it was brutal.
Oh.
Yeah, it was.
I want to give a shout out, Sakura, to Jesus Escalera, the president of TNK Promotions, and his matchmaker, Joey Orduna. Joey is being inducted into the Hall of Fame this year, and he is definitely going to be working because he's matchmaking the fight on Friday night.
They are already working on it now, so he is already putting in that work.
TNK has done a great job. They're great partners. We love working with them. And we're going to have a long relationship between TNK Promotions and the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame.
That's awesome.
That's great.
How many fights are going to be on that card? I'm looking forward to it, though.
I think we're looking at between 6 and 7, because we don't want to go too late, because we got a full day, all day Saturday of events, Saturday night, and then of course Sunday morning we got the induction. So we don't want to overkill it. We don't want to have too many fights. We don't want to be there till 1 a.m. or anything. but you'll get, I'm sure you'll get 6 or 7 fights.
Oh, cool.
That's good. That's cool. That's
And I'm most excited about that night because that's the night that I get to help Bob, who doesn't really need my help, guys. But I get to be with him and help host and interview some of the boxers that win.
That's right. You got we put big screens up in the room, and Sakura grabs the fighters when the fight's over. She takes over and does great interviews, gets all the information from these guys. And it's just one more added thing that we've done to try and make the Hall of Fame even better. You know, every year we get together and do this, we try to figure out, okay, what can we do this year to add on to what we did last year? And a couple of years ago, we were able to get with Sakura and make the arrangement. And she's done a fabulous job doing the interviews after the fights.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, nobody's gotten mad with me yet because, you know, you never know what kind of questions I'm going to ask, right, Bob?
but you ask it with a big smile so they can't get mad at you.
Right.
No, that's the key. Okay, that's the key. See, he just gave me a tip.
I see Sherman said he hoped to join the club, Bob.
I'm
going to join the club.
Trainer Sherman Henson, we hope to see you there June. We're gonna make sure that you are in the house this year.
And let me say this too for the Hall of Fame. You know, we induct about 20 people a year. Most halls of fame for boxing might put in 6, 7, 8 at the most. We know there's a lot of people that are deserving, both that are alive and passed on, that deserve to be in our Hall of Fame. It's just a matter of the numbers. You know, we work year round to try and pick out the best, you know, most qualified inductees. And there's so many, they're all deserving. And we're going to get everybody in that deserves to. We just need people to be a little bit patient. We're going to get there. And, you know, if you're even close, we're going to get you in there sometime. It's just, there's only so many we can do every year. We try and do the best we can, but we're going to keep doing it and keep working hard to get those that are deserving in the Hall of Fame.
Yes, and shout out to Sherman Henson and Team Tarver for their win this past weekend with Antonio Tarver Jr. I think they call him T2. And he's been working with him for quite a while. So we want to send a congratulations to them as well. Okay, guys, tell me exactly which event, what are you guys looking forward to the most besides getting your rings? I know that's like number one for Al. What other events are you guys looking forward to that particular weekend for the Hall of Fame?
Well, I'm saying I'm looking forward. Actually, I have a lot of family down there.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of family members that's going to show up there to get there. But also, it's just the camaraderie of meeting a lot of the other fighters. Or seeing some of the fighters that we really haven't really seen. We always heard of each other. We all know each other. But we never really had any kind of relationships or dealing like, you know, intermingling with each other. Like, I've always heard of Fred, and I finally had a great time meeting him when we was there for the pre-thing, whatever, when we first meet.
You found out who would be inducted.
Yeah, so it was a very nice thing. Actually, it's like, you know how the fans might see everybody, but here we actually interact and able to touch somebody. So, you know,
I mean, that is pretty good because I thought you guys knew each other for a long time. The way the two of you go at it, I thought that this was an ongoing rivalry.
No, it was just a respect of each other, compliment, and see each other, you know, the acknowledgement of each other, of the greatness of each other.
Yeah.
Well, I love it. I think it's great, especially Bob. We can see firsthand how you can match two people up together with this induction, and you just never know who clicks and who's, you know, having lasting relationships, lasting friendships.
Well, that's one of the other great things about the Hall of Fame, Sakura, is that it like you said, it's a boxing family reunion every year. It's a chance for us to get together, hang out, tell stories, reminisce, tell jokes, just have a great time and celebrate the sport. And, you know, guys that have made the sport so great, like Frez, like Al, you know, like so many of the other inductees. It's just so much fun and just a lot of excitement, and everybody getting caught up on, you know, because we don't all get to hang out all the time. We all have busy lives, and we're traveling and doing things and, you know, living families and everything. This is an opportunity that we can set aside for a couple of days every year and just kind of be selfish for ourselves. It's all about us. It's about the fraternity, the fighters, the ring announcers, the promoters, whoever, everybody that's involved in boxing, the fans, come get together and just have a great time.
You know what, Bob? I was telling some people the other day. You know, I got a chance to meet a lot of fighters, but when I met Frez, man, some of my Frez, he makes you feel like you've known him for years, and he's so, you know, such a cool dude.
Well, in the Midwest, when they say you from the Midwest,
man, I mean,
Milwaukee, that's my
Frez,
family.
I feel like I've been knowing Frez for years.
And, you know, that's the funny thing that a lot of fans don't know until they get to meet some of these fighters is boxers are the best athletes in professional sports when it comes to dealing with fans and media and things like that. They're so cooperative as a whole. You know, I'm so impressed over the years. As a journalist, you know, I've interviewed every type of athlete, football, basketball, hockey, whatever. I will maintain to this day and forever on, boxers are the best athletes that the public will ever deal with. They're humble. They're grateful for what they have. They're easy to talk to. They love their fans. They're just great people. And if you've never been to a Hall of Fame weekend like this, you should come and experience meeting great athletes, great fighters, great champions like Frez and like Al.
Absolutely.
Let me tell you one quick little story. It's interesting about Al. I've been watching Al since I was 13, 14. I watched
Hold on.
Olympic Games in 1988. It was Michael Carbajal, Roy Jones, Ray Mercer, Andrew Maynard. I mean, all these great. This is when I started boxing, guys. You know, I started boxing when I was 13 in 87 and in 88. So, man, when I seen Al, who was there? You fought in the trials. Was that Bomani?
Yeah, I won the Olympic trials, the gold Olympic trials by beating Bomani Parker.
Yeah, and I remember that, that fight, and it's crazy. Decades later, here I am, you know, with the man that I seen throughout his professional career, his last part of his amateur career, his professional career, and like he was saying earlier, it seemed like we've been knowing each other forever, you know, because I've been seeing him since I was 13, guys. I just want to say that out to the record because a lot of people don't know that. Us fighters, we've been knowing each other for years, even though we ain't seen each other in person. But you know, I've been seeing them as a kid.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I see, and I didn't even know that. And like I won the Olympic trials in '88. What he's talking about?
I remember. I was a kid.
You make him seem like he's like 40 years older than you, man.
Frez said, I've been watching you since I was 2, huh?
I don't know. Y'all might have to get in that ring Friday, June 17th.
Right.
There's something brewing here I'm liking.
Right.
I'm always staying in shape just in case.
Frez, you might be in trouble. You might have been on board and you can chew with all these
but you know,
comments.
as Frez said something, I'm gonna mention something about me and Ray Mercer.
Okay.
Actually, me and Mercer, we met. We both of us was in the Army.
Right.
And we both met in 1988. And we were just like young kids just playing around, having fun. And we was not even thinking about turning pro, going to the Olympics, and doing none of that. And our job was in the Army was to box.
Oh, wow.
And so that was, well, I had a different job. I had a different job. I was like in a maintenance supply field, but I come to find out if I make the boxing team, I don't got to wake up at 4 or 5 in the morning. I don't got to go out there. I don't got to sleep in the woods. Sleep with them rattlesnakes. Sleep with them rattlesnakes that's in Texas, like just in case and learn all that stuff. And I'm like, we had to do all that military stuff, marching back and forth and all this stuff. They said, if you make the boxing team, I'm gonna start boxing for Fort Hood. I'm like, shoot, I never boxed before. I'm like, but I ain't gonna let nobody hit me in my face and get away with it.
Right.
And so I just boxed for 4 years before I made the Olympic team. But it was just the point that me and Mercer, we were just trying to out hustle each other, outdo each other. We never even thought about turning pro. It's kind of ridiculous. I'm gonna say, I never even. It's kind of ridiculous what I'm about to say. I don't want no one to age me or think I'm this ignorant or this dumb. But when I first started boxing, I just was boxing just to be boxing, so I don't sleep in the woods in the rain and all the stuff like that.
Okay.
I didn't know
nothing. Like, I got this. Okay.
Right.
I didn't know nothing about boxing, but when Bob Arum approached me, about turning pro. And then they gave me their business card that said top rank. And I'm like, oh, what rank is this? I'm an E5. I'm a sergeant. I don't know what rank is this. I didn't know nothing about that.
Wow. Oh my God, that is hilarious.
That's funny. I knew, I'm going to probably say this at the Hall of Fame, I only knew 3 people in boxing. 3 people. I'm going to ask y'all to guess the 3 people I know.
Bob
Roy Jones was one of them.
And yourself.
No, not Roy Jones. No. Okay, let me put it this way. I'm going to give you 2. Only name I ever heard in boxing was Muhammad Ali, and the other one was Sugar Ray. Those are only. I didn't even know who Joe Frazier was. That's how bad it was. I never heard of Joe. That's all. I never followed boxing. I never watched boxing. Even though I was in the Army doing it, I was just trying to do it so I don't have to do my other job.
Right.
I wasn't trying to fight. So now Sugar Ray and Muhammad Ali, and I'm gonna give y'all a guess the 3rd person, and y'all figure it out.
Duran.
No.
Roberto Duran.
Mike Tyson.
No.
No, he said that before he started. The only
well, Mike Tyson was before I started too, though.
Oh, okay. Pernell Whitaker.
No, none of them. Like it was this. Well, 88 when I made the Olympic team. So now I never watched boxing because I was just watching. I mean, boxing. I never cared to look at it, but I just tried. I just worked hard. And like I said, Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray, and y'all said you didn't answer that. Come on, friends, I'm giving you.
Well, who we talking about? Frazier? Joe Frazier?
Give us a hint, champ.
Right.
Okay. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna just tell you. The 3rd person was Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray, and Don King.
Boxing people you knew.
Yeah, those are the only 3 people I knew in boxing. And I didn't know what Don King was. I just heard the name Don King was promoted. And I was thinking like, that's all I heard, but I never knew the business of the game or anything. And I was just so dumb. I never watched boxing. I started learning boxing when I turned pro.
Wow.
Well, that's when you said Sugar Ray. That's why I tried to throw out 2 of his opponents. You know, like thinking that maybe it was somebody he fought or somebody Ali fought.
What about now, Al? Do you like watching boxing now?
Yes and no. really, because some of the fights, but I'm sure it's always said, like, I heard the next generation say, oh, them guys don't know how to fight. And the older generation say, the young, we don't know how to fight. Some people said, like the older generation when we was fighting, they say, oh, those guys not no good. And always the next generation said the other fighters was no good.
Right.
But some of these fighters, some of these people that are coaching is like fans. Like I'm like Sherman. No, I'm at. Oh, hold on. Who's this running there with?
Sherman, he said was a person named Ronnie Hughes with you at Fort Hood.
Now let me tell you that guy was so awesome. This guy Ronnie Hughes. Now I'm sorry. I don't want to be taking over your thing, but I'm gonna tell you a story.
Go ahead, Chill. I mean, he's asking the question.
Okay, this was Ronnie Hughes. I didn't know nothing about boxing. I just got on the team, and I won a novice tournament. And I'm thinking I'm the bad tough guy. I'm from New York. I'm coming down here to Texas. All these country people. I'm Texas. I'm from New York. These people don't know that though. I'm from New York. So I'm coming down there. I'm coming down there to Fort Hood, right? And Kenny Adams was my coach. Y'all know Kenny Adams?
Yep.
All right. He was the head Olympic coach, right? So now I'm just starting out boxing. And they had a write-up in the paper about this guy, Ronnie Hughes, that he's talking about. He had a big write-up in the paper that he just TKO'd some fighter, that he stopped this really good fighter. The referee, RSC, just stopped the fighter. And I'm like, so now me and this guy, Ronnie Hughes, is about to spar. God rest his soul. He just died, I think, a year ago, 2 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so I'm about to, the coach tell me, get in the ring with Ronnie Hughes. And see, in the amateurs, and I mean in the military, I'm in the military, we can't talk back. These are soldiers that outrank us. We do what they say. So we can't talk back in civilian world. They like, nah, I don't feel like doing this. I don't feel like doing that. We cannot say we don't feel like doing it. The sergeant tell us to do it, we got to do it. So now he tell me to get in the ring and box Ronnie Hughes. And at this time, I only had about 4 months of boxing. So I'm like, sure. Ronnie's a little short guy. He's only, at the time, like 5'10". I'm like, you know what? No problem. I'm going to get in. And then they talked about how big Ronnie just had this fight and stopped this one fighter. And I'm like, I don't care who he stopped. He ain't stopping me. I don't care. I'm like, I'm from New York. I don't even he ain't gonna stop me. I ain't worried what he doing. And I'm thinking y'all might have heard of this one fighter that he just finished. He had a fight and he TKO'd him. I don't know if y'all heard of a guy. His name was Evander Holyfield.
What? No.
Wow.
Yes.
The guy in the back of me. That guy in the back of me.
Evander Holyfield. He had it came from an amateur tournament, and he just stopped Evander Holyfield.
Wow.
In the amateurs,
What was his name?
No, it was a match in Texas. It was like, and when I talked to Holyfield about it, I always bring up Ronnie. And Ronnie, he said Ronnie was his toughest fight ever.
Wow.
He said, yeah. He said Ronnie was more like his Riddick Bowe as a pro. He said, but Ronnie fought like a Joe Frazier style. Just kept coming. And he said, yeah, and but they both had 2 fights each. One time Holyfield beat him, and one time Ronnie beat Holyfield. But that was a very tough fight.
Oh, wow.
Well, Sherman was asking that question because he also was under that same umbrella when he was in the military. So that's how he knew Ronnie Hughes and everybody was at Fort Hood.
Oh, Ronnie was a serious killer. He got so much respect from everybody. And he never turned pro. He never turned pro.
So
What
he
was
fought
his
you
name?
now?
What?
You and Ronnie, y'all fought, right?
No, we were just teammates.
Oh, okay.
Right, but you said he wasn't gonna beat you, so what y'all had to spar together or what?
Oh yeah. Tell the truth, he beat the crap out of me, and I'm like, and next day I'm like, I'm getting you tomorrow. Every day he whooped my tail. I'm like, I'm getting you tomorrow. I'm getting you tomorrow. Then about 3-4 months, I'm like, hey, I didn't do that bad. And actually, I learned to fight before I learned to box. Because I was much taller than him, and he would not let me throw nothing, So I just waited till he kept coming, just covered up and just threw punches. But Ronnie was really one of the best amateur fights. He never turned pro. And
he never turned pro.
He never turned pro, and he stopped Holyfield.
Wow.
That's amazing. I mean, he just stayed in the military? Is that what happened?
He retired in the military.
Oh, wow.
And there was a lot of fighters like that. And on my team, I was at Fort Hood. On my team that same year, I had another guy that beat Pernell Whitaker.
Wow, Sweet Pea.
Yeah.
Wow.
And those two guys stayed in the military. They never turned pro.
That sounds like Sugar Ray when he almost didn't turn pro. Remember, Sugar Ray almost didn't turn pro.
Really?
Yeah.
Sugar Ray Leonard, after he won the gold, he almost didn't turn pro, but he said he needed the money. And
he was going to go to college.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's going to go to college.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
I never
he said
knew.
his father got sick. His son said his father got sick and they needed the money. Plus, he had a young, son, so he switched courses.
So them guys
There's
running.
a lot of people like that, and when Bob and them approached me, I didn't know nothing about boxing. I didn't know how much I should get or how much I should not get, and all this. And I was like comparing it to the military. I just wanted enough money to live. I could have asked for a whole lot more, in which they would have gave it to me.
Right.
And so they really got over it. And when I told Ray Mercer what I was getting, Mercer said, hey, let me do the same thing.
You're like, okay, I can do that.
And we got out the military together. Actually, we was at the end of our military obligations. So it's almost a perfect timing for us to get out the military and try to turn pro. And we figured, if we figured this, if anything else, we can always come back and join the Army. So
exactly.
let's give it a try, right?
Yeah, and get even like what the bonuses? They offer bonuses.
Yeah. Yo, see, get that lump sum of money. Yeah.
That's a great story.
Was old at that time. He was 28. They was not thinking about even trying to sign him because they were trying to figure like they consider that old for fighting. They just turned pro. When you're almost 30 and turning pro. Now most people is not going to try to deal with you.
And both of y'all became world champions, Al. You were right.
Yeah, it's still almost like that when you're in the military and you have a late start of your career. It's still hard to get a promotional team behind you.
Yeah.
Right. And actually, we had another guy that was in the Army, Kenny McKennedy. He was
gold medalist. Yes.
Yeah. We was all in the Army. See, the Army had a heck of a team. We had other chairman named Vince Phillip. And knocked out
Vince Phillip. He was an IBF champ.
Yes, he knocked out Costa Zoo.
Look at Fred's back there with his boxing knowledge.
Oh, I'm a historian. That group he's talking about, that's what started me boxing.
Okay, so you were really researching and paying attention.
Oh yeah.
I think we
in
was
that era, yeah.
the age group right before him, and so like 4 years, every 4 years is the Olympics.
Right, right.
So you know the group that's before you. And
Vince Phillips. Vince Phillips is in the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame.
Oh wow, okay, yeah. See, yeah. Matter of fact, he was down there with Roy Jones too. Who's another guy? I'm gonna tell y'all something about overtaking the podcast. I'm sorry. One guy I think that should probably go into the Hall of Fame is Roy Jones Sr.
Okay.
Only reason I say that, I really only met the man a couple of times. I really don't know much about him. But the man only trained a handful of people. That, from my knowledge, he only trained a little amount of people, right? But all the people he had trained that he started out with all became like pros. Like Roy became elite pro. Derek Smoke Gaynor.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Vince Phillip.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, Vince Phillip and a guy named Arthur Williams.
Of course I know Arthur Williams. Did you fight him?
No, I wanted to. I tried to fight him, but they didn't want to fight.
Oh, okay. Oh, I know my history. I remember.
Yeah, and see, all of them was right there out of that Pensacola at one time.
Yeah.
Wow. And Roy Jones Sr. used to train all them guys. Think about it. You don't get a coach that trained all these world champs. And Roy Jones Sr. embedded all them from youth, trained all them guys.
Did he also train Ezra Sellers? May God bless his soul, Ezra?
No, my coach Alton Murkison trained Ezra Sellers.
Okay, yeah,
But
he helped me for the bird fight.
Sellers was down there.
Oh yeah, he was my chief sparring partner for the bird fight. God bless his soul. He helped me a lot.
Yeah. He was a
Guys,
great fighter.
I could listen to you all night, Bob. You know what? I'm wondering if are we gonna have a round table this year? Because I mean, this is what it's all about. Getting these guys together and just letting them give us this boxing trivia.
Historian.
Yeah, like we can know information other people don't. I love it.
Like this guy,
drop Steve Canton a line, because he's the one that organizes the round table. So drop Steve a line and let him know you want them on the round table.
Yeah, I'm thinking we gotta have the president of the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame and his legendary training. We gotta have him on here too one night. We gotta have him before.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And then I can put pressure on him with everybody eyes on him. You know, he can't
there
tell me
you
nothing.
go.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah. But this guy Sherman Hinton said McKinney came after he left his weight class.
Yes. At Fort Hood.
Oh, okay. McKinney was in the military, and he got out in '88 during the Olympics, and he won a gold medal. I think he's the only bantamweight that win a gold medal for the U.S.
Yep, you're right. You're right. Since then, yes.
I know the information, boy. Okay, I didn't know he was a historian like this, but
me and him both, being big brother.
Yes, y'all impressing me. Y'all impressing me for real. Let's see who else we got. He also mentioned a Fred Perkins.
Oh my goodness, who's this? Who is Sherman?
Sherman is a trainer. He's training Antonio Tarver Jr. He helps train him. And then he also had a champ. He had what we just had him on.
He trained Juan Laporte too, didn't he?
Juan Laporte, and another person in Colorado that won a lot of championships. We had him on a few 2 months ago.
Yeah, I can't think of his name.
Paul Banky.
Paul Banky.
Oh,
He
really?
also trained him and got him to a world championship.
Yeah, he named some good fighters because the guy he just named, we talked about Ronnie Hughes and Fred Perkins. They they was the top dogs. Like
Yeah.
they was. Fred Perkins was like rated when I first started boxing. It was kind of different when I first started rating boxing. It was stupid. I just wanted to be in the top 10. I didn't care if I was 8, 9, or 10. I just wanted to be in the 10. And Fred Perkins was like number 2 or 3 rated. And he was like, I think 112 or 119.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
And he was training with Ronnie Hughes.
Al, I had a question real quick for you and Frez. Who's the toughest opponent you guys fought, man? Who was the toughest guy y'all had?
Frez, you get into yours first.
Okay. My toughest one, man. And actually, this tough guy, me and Shannon got a lot of in common with this fighter. His name is Demetrius King. He was known as a trailblazer. I mean, a trail horse. But this dude knocked out all the prospects. And then, they put me in the ring with him. I fought him in Indiana, actually, where our buddy, the Hall of Fame guy from over there, he was at that fight. And Demetrius King, he just came from knocking out Bermain Stavern before Bermain Stavern fought for the WBC championship.
Yeah,
this guy knocked out Bermain Stavern.
Wow. Heavyweight, yeah.
And I was like, so they put me in there, they threw the wolves at me, they threw me through the wolves, basically. So they thought, oh, Fred's out, he's out of the game. This guy's gonna run through him. Man, I did something. I'm president and I'm knocking him down, stopped him round 9. And that was one of my toughest fights. That dude was like Mike Tyson on steroids, but he passed his test. This guy's neck was it was like his neck was like 50 inches big. He's like 5'10", a tank. I mean, it's like hitting a sandbag, like a 500-pound sandbag. But I chopped him down, and that dude was really, really rough. And that's one of my roughest fights. And his name is Demetrius King. Him and the Black Rhino. My Showtime debut, the Black Rhino, who knocked out, a lot of people. He beat Clay Bay, the Olympian, 96 Olympian. He beat Brewster. He beat Brewster. I think he stopped. I don't know. And then he beat that guy who looks like Mike Tyson, Cliff Cowser or whatever, the twin guy who knocks out. He knocks a lot of people out. So, man, they put me in. They threw me to the wall. So there you go, my debut. They're throwing me in with a monster. Knocked them out. 7 knockdowns. The rest was history. But those 2 fights were like my hardest. Go ahead, Al.
Well, no, I really don't think I really had no hard fights. I'm gonna say I was my toughest opponent. I was my toughest opponent because
you were hard on yourself, champ.
Yeah, no, if I'm right, I'm right. Sometimes, like later in my career, I wasn't as focused as much.
Yeah.
So when I'm focused, I'm doing everything. I'm doing everything right. And I'm training. I'm there. Like, I guess when I finally left Florida, I think it was like probably early 2000 or something. I left down there training with Roy Jones. And I had a group of people that we was always focused together. So I had the camaraderie of us, like we all gelled together, we all trained together. We like iron sharpen iron, and we was all together like that. But when I fell off, started doing stuff on my own, especially when I moved up to heavyweight, I'm like, I ain't gotta run like 5-6 miles no more. Heavyweights are slow and lazy. So I might do a mile or 2 because I used to easily beat up the heavyweights because I was so quick and faster, and then I can hit a little bit, but I could take a shot also. So heavyweights was always, I've been fighting and beating up heavyweights since I was a middleweight. And so it was just so easy. So I was my toughest opponent, but I would say no, I could say my very first loss, I fought a guy named, we called him Leon the Cat Taylor. Man, when I lost that fight, and actually it was just a tune-up fight. And I was fighting for the world title. And then the fight when I fought him, Leon Taylor, right? Make the story short, he beat me. He beat me on a split decision, right? So I immediately had a rematch, right? And everywhere I went, this guy lived in New York, I was living in Jersey. I would just go to the mall and get me something to eat or buy me some. And I would swear I saw that guy in the store. And I'm like, what is he doing over here? And then when I go a little bit closer, it wasn't him. Then like, okay, I walk out the store, I go to another store, then I see a different guy that looks just like him. And I'm like, what is he doing over here? Wherever, I was so fixated on that guy.
Yeah.
People look like him to me. Wherever I go, I saw him. I don't care what he looks like. So many. I just saw his face on everybody, and it was kind of weird. I was just so focused on him, so focused. Everybody looked like him to me, and I was just going around up until we had that fight. I mean, I couldn't believe it. Everybody looked like this guy to me. I was so fixated on him, on getting him back. And then we had a rematch. I totally destroyed him. But I was so stuck his mind. Everybody looked like me. Guy or girl. Everybody looked like me.
Your wife didn't turn around and look like him, did she?
Oh, no. Nobody can look that good.
Okay. All right, David Bowser. He's in the house all the way from St. Pete, Florida.
Hey.
What's up, Dave? He says, I cannot wait to celebrate the Hall of Fame weekend. Lots of noise to come.
Yes.
And John, our judge for Florida, judge and referee for Florida and Alabama, by the way, he is a triple threat, he says.
Wow.
And then Trainer Henson, he says, we will get a chance to meet up. That's right, at the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame, June 17th through the 19th. I'm so excited, Bob. I mean, you got to tell me one secret. You got to tell me something, so that I can even be a little bit more excited. Yeah, of course he gets surprised. You know he does.
There's so many details and so many exciting things. I'll tell you. Okay, I'm going to tell you one thing.
Okay.
I have a protege, a young lady from Detroit. Of course, I'm from Detroit originally.
Oh, I did not know that. Wow, you from the Midwest too?
I'm a Midwest guy, Fred. Yes. There's a young lady that I met. She's an aspiring ring announcer. She's been announcing for a couple of years, doing amateurs. She just had her first pro fight announcing about a month ago. And she and I become good friends. And I'm trying to pass on everything I know about ring announcing to her. She's going to be there. She's going to ring announce one of the undercard fights for me.
Wow, that's exciting.
And she's also going to act as host for the seminars, which will allow me to do all the interviews I need to do for the YouTube channel for the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame. So that's you're going to get, that's the scoop. You heard it first, that my protege from Detroit, her name is Ryan, Rhyan.
Nice. I am so excited. The thing of it is, Bob, you're letting us know that not only do you support me as a female, that you also are supporting another young lady as a female, helping her get her career and her goals in place too. So that's so honorable. Right. And I can't wait. But the thing of it is like, I am a little jealous because I thought I was your protege.
You don't need to be my protege. You've surpassed everything I've ever done in broadcast journalism. So you're already there, girl. You're already there.
I don't have a silky voice. I mean, I just have a Southern accent, but I don't have a silky voice like yours.
You got an exciting voice. Everybody when Sakura talks, people listen.
Yeah, that's because they're scared.
Good.
I'm just kidding. Now, guys, we've got to wrap this up for tonight. I've loved talking to all of you tonight. I can't wait till our next week because we're gonna have Corey Spinks. And who else is it, Bob? I forgot who our other guest was.
Oh gosh, yes, my mind's gone blank.
Randall Bailey.
Randall Bailey.
Yes,
Miami.
2 more inductees. So everybody that's tuning in, please make sure that you're right back here next Thursday night at 8 p.m. to see these wonderful athletes and help us honor them. And then get prepared for June 17th to the 19th for the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame weekend. It's going to be lots of fun, boxing, and, of course, all of our inductees. Yes, sir, Mr.
Yeah, is Randall already inducted, or he's going to be inducted?
No, he's going in the same class with you, champ.
Oh, okay, great.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. I know Randall.
The knockout king, they call him.
Yeah. Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
It's
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
He's part of my country. I see him in Puerto Rico.
Oh, we'll read the question first.
Yep, good fighter.
Randall's he can hit.
Yeah.
All right, we got one more question we're going to take from David Bowser. And he says, this is for Al and Fred. Which fighter that you lost to would you most like a rematch with? What fighter that you lost to would you like a rematch?
You already know with me. Chris Bird.
Okay.
Chris Bird and James Toney. Everybody know I whooped them both.
James Toney. I thought you were going to say James Toney, honestly.
Okay.
Go ahead, Al.
Mine is Sultan Ibragimov. It's a Russian that I end up losing to, and he ended up beating Holyfield to win the title. I started training him after I lost, and I'm like, how in the world I let this side joker beat me? and I'm gonna say one more.
Okay.
I forgot his name. I might name a couple. Never mind. I might name because what was the big heavyweight? He ended up fighting. Oh my goodness! See, this is what I get. I probably don't need to fight him no more. I can't remember his name.
Oh, you saying you will fight him right now? Okay.
Yeah, because I mean these guys. I lost a couple of fights that these guys was really no way they should beat me. No way. And I was like in the right frame of my mind. In fact, even when I fought Hasim Rockman.
Right.
Even when I fought Hasim Rockman, I kept hurting him to the body. He was cut under and over both eyes. They were about to stop the fight, but then I kept hurting him, and I fought him in his hometown. They kept warning me about low blows. They're trying to take points away. I'm like, oh, forget. They're trying to give him the fight because I'm fighting him in his hometown. In the last 2 rounds, I'm like, oh, forget it. I just let it go. And I come to find out if I'd have won the 9th or 10th round, I would have won the fight. He had to come back and win both of those rounds to beat me.
Oh,
and that was Hasim.
was
Hasim Rockman.
I think that is like the worst type of loss is when you coast when you think like either somebody tells you like you're good,
right, yeah,
and then you coast and then you like, dang, I needed those rounds. I guess it would be Oscar
and Trinidad.
Yes, and Trinidad like.
Yes, that's a hard.
That's a hard.
Yeah, something that you got to live with for so long in life.
Yeah.
Oh, I know the other dude. Remember, I just remember Lance Whitaker.
Oh, Lance Whitaker.
Lance Whitaker, that big. He's from down there, and that big soft baby punk. Yeah, They asked me to spar with him. I'm like, yeah, I spar with him. He walked out the gym.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I won the National Golden Gloves with him back in '93 in Little Rock, Arkansas. Me and Lance Whitaker. I met Floyd Mayweather that year. David Reed. Yeah, we had a good team in 1993. We won the National Golden Gloves together.
Yeah,
that's nice. That is a nice team.
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Lance Whitaker, that ain't the dude that played Foreman in that Ali movie, was it?
Nah.
Oh, that's Charles.
Charles Schufer.
Oh, Super. That's right.
Yeah, he was a cool dude. Charles, he fought for the world title, but he lost to what's the brothers Klitschko. Yeah, the Klitschko. But we had a fun time doing Ali, and it was really good because we had James Toney play Joe Frazier.
Right.
I played Ernie Terrell, and Charles Schufer played George Foreman.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had some really good. Oh, and Michael Bent played Sonny Liston.
Oh yeah, Michael Bent.
And Michael
Yeah.
Bent, actually, he knocked out Tommy Morrison to
Right.
win the world title.
Yes.
Yep.
Upset.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember that.
And Michael Bent was favored to go to the '88 Olympics than Mercer.
Really?
Yes, because nobody knew Mercer. Mercer came out at the last moment in '88. Mercer, he was always overseas in Germany, overseas fighting. He didn't want to come over to the All Army training camp because we trained too hard.
Wow.
They're like,
He like, and over there in Germany, he was training himself. And you know, when you train yourself, you're like, I don't feel like running. I don't want to do this many rounds. But he said, and Mercer said he wasn't coming back until the '88 Olympic year. And when he had to train, he had to be up under coaches that were pushing.
Right.
And you know,
Sherman mentioned something about this too, about the Germany situation, but his comment was Kenny Adams did not want to go to Germany. So it's like just as much as this guy didn't want to come to the US because you guys were training too hard, Kenny Adams was like, I don't want to go to Germany.
yeah, and the reason that Kenny Adams, he was at my coach at Fort Hood, Texas.
Right.
And so what happened was he got carte blanche. He got all the generals and everybody giving him what he want.
Oh.
So it's for you to go over Germany and start all over. Like, nah.
No, thank you.
You got everything. You got all the generals supporting you because we exempt military duty. Now in the military, we was like, say, what's the Secret Service the thing?
Clearance?
When they go, the clearance. We had such a high security clearance. Only thing was we was to do the box. Just like
that's pretty good. That's a pretty good life, like knowing you don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to go overseas. You don't have to fight.
Right.
Like you said, be out there with the bugs and training.
Yeah.
Hey, friends, did you or Al ever fight Jamil McCline? Either one of you guys?
It's interesting you brought that up. They mentioned me to fight Jamil McCline when I was coming up. When I was fighting my six rounders and stuff like that. They mentioned Jamil McCline when I was with Dan Goosen. This is back in 90. It's interesting you brought that up. It was like a 99 around there. But you know, that's one fight that it would have been interesting. I would have loved to you know, it's like Little Mac versus Mike Tyson, you know, little guy versus a monster, but it never materialized. And we both fought on the same card right after 9/11, December 1st, right after 9/11 terror attacks. Months later, they had us fight my HBO and his HBO debut. He beat Shannon Briggs, and I beat David Eisen. Matter of fact, Vladimir Klitschko was supposed to be the main event to fight David Eisen, Olympic silver medalist from Nigeria. He bailed out. He didn't want to fight David Eisen. You know, David Eisen is known to take a lot of punishment and then knock you out in the later rounds. I ended up stopping him in the third round, so that brought me up to the stars after that fight.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, you fought David Eisen?
Yeah, David Eisen. He was one of Roy Jones' father's trainer, right? Or your trainer?
No, up on them out the Murchison. When I left Roy, I ended up turning around and fought him.
Oh, he fought David Eisen?
Yeah. I beat him also, but you know.
Oh, good. How many rounds you guys go?
I ain't beat him like you did. You know what I mean? I just easily outboxed him because I knew him from down there training, and I was down there with Roy and them, and I just knew him, and I had left Roy.
Right.
And this was on my downside. I wasn't going to bring it up, but when I moved up to heavyweight, I started losing all my fights. People thought because I moved up to heavyweight. No, my mother and brother died. And over the next 5 years, I won one fight.
Oh
I
wow.
wasn't really focused. I
So
was
you
going
was
through the
kind of
motions.
like depressed about,
Yeah, just
yeah.
no. I was just going through the motions. I'm like, matter of fact, Oliver McCall was my sparring partner before he knocked out Lennox Lewis.
Oliver was for
Yeah,
Chicago?
I used to beat the
Wow.
hell out of Oliver.
I had some good sparring wars with him. Even though I'm like 15, 20 years younger than him, we had some war sparring. Me and him in Chicago. I got some tapes. I'm gonna give it to you guys.
He cannot hit me. He just got frustrated. And then Bert Cooper Mercer hated because they thought I was beating up all these guys. It was so easy, so they let Mercer spar. Mercer had a hard fight with him. Like when he fought Bert Cooper was easy in me.
Oh,
Mercer
me too. I fought Burt my 10th pro fight.
Yeah. See, when you got some movement, you box and move.
Yes, and you had that. Yes.
Well, Mercer's not moving. He's like too lazy. Like you hit me, don't move. I'm hitting you back.
Yeah.
You guys have been so amazing tonight. I want to bring you guys back for a special show that I was thinking about having, which is sparring then and now. Because I believe it's a big difference of how you guys used to spar.
Oh yeah, the who's who.
What goes on now?
We spar with the who's who in boxing. I'm pretty sure I'll get too.
And we still got that mentality, and we
still
take care of our shit. I don't understand how some fighters let themselves go.
I know,
you know
that's sad. Like me and you.
I'm not staying in shape. I'm not staying in shape for a fight. I stay in shape for my life.
For my health, exactly.
Yeah, my health. Yeah, I like looking good, so I want to stay.
Okay.
We got a lot of common. She says we got a lot of common.
Yeah, I still want you to wash some clothes right here. You can wash on my six pack. Yeah. It's not a six pack no more, but it might be a 4 or 2. You know.
Yeah.
Hey Bob, I got a new activity. We could have a 6-pack competition for all the for the inductees. See who wins that.
Yeah, we'll do that after we have that big old cake that Alessi Bakery brings to us every year for the Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah,
that cake, and then we'll do the ab thing then.
Yeah, that cake be delicious every year too. Yeah, like it's hard to resist it.
I'm looking forward to that cake. Then I'm looking. I have a sweet tooth. I'm telling you.
That's the tip of the iceberg, champ. Tip of the iceberg. You're gonna love every minute.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, guys. For the last time, this is Florida Boxing Hall of Fame weekend. We have 2 inductees here with us tonight, and you can see them sign. They can sign your autographs and everything else the weekend of June 17th to the 19th. Go on to the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame website and click on the hotel for the reservations to book your room now, as well as get your tickets for all of the events, including Friday's professional bouts with Tnkboxingpromotions, as well as the expo and the dinner Saturday night, and then hopefully roundtables too.
There will be.
Yes, Bob.
There'll be roundtable.
Roundtable. Okay, and then Sunday the induction ceremony, where these 2 and all the other inductees will get their blinging Boxing Hall of Fame rings. Until next week.
Just tell them what city, because I'm not sure.
St. Petersburg, Florida, baby.
Okay.
That's going to be at the St. Petersburg Clearwater Marriott on Roosevelt Boulevard.
Oh, yeah.
All the details are on Florida Boxing Hall of Fame's website. Till next week, next Thursday, we'll see you right here at this same bad time of 8 p.m., guys. Thanks so much.
Thanks so much, friends out.
Thank you, my brothers. Thank you, my
pleasure, guys.
Thank you.
And thanks to everybody that participated tonight. We appreciate it.
All right, thank you. Be blessed.
Bless you guys too.